Alright guys, so tell me, what's the number one mistake you cannot make in a bear market if you want to succeed? That's what we're going to go over today, okay? Before we get into it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, follow me on Twitter. Without further ado, let's hop into the charts. So just pulling up the Bitcoin chart today, guys, we're seeing some insane price action and some resilience from Bitcoin coming off the recent positive green weekly candle, which opened here recently, and we're seeing that bullish uptick here. So that gets into really what I want to talk about today, which is the number one mistake you cannot make in a bull market or a bear market if you want to succeed. And that's essentially, thinking that you can time the market. Okay, it's as we've said before in previous videos, you have to decide what kind of trader you are as well as what kind of time frame you're looking at, right? And I think that's what a lot of traders get confused on. They get confused on what are short-term signals versus what is the bigger long-term picture, right? And it's what I've said in videos before. Currently Bitcoin is in an accumulation zone. It doesn't matter what you think or what anyone says about the price is going to go lower, we're going to hit this value, this number. It doesn't matter, right? Like if you take a look at the numbers, we're down 52%, and at the bottom, at the bottom of the wick, 57%. Okay, so the chart says it all. We're down 50% plus at current prices. Okay, that's an accumulation phase. All right, if you were that great of a trader, one, you wouldn't be watching my video here, and two, you would have sold the top, and then you'd be looking, and find the exact bottom and buying then. The fact of the matter is, nobody actually knows when the top is, no one actually knows when the bottom is. Okay, so this is an accumulation phase. Okay, the number one mistake you can make in a bull market is thinking that you can call the top. The number one mistake you can make in a bear market is thinking you can call the bottom, which you cannot do. Okay, now in a bear market, yes, it's easier to dollar cost average in the bottom, which is what we've seen in previous bear markets, and that's just the nature of it, right? The nature typically in crypto bearish periods is the market goes sideways for a long time. But what can happen, unfortunately, is a lot of traders get trapped on the sidelines because they get fudded out and they keep waiting for the price to bottom, and they miss that bottom. Okay, and that's the thing. Don't think you're gonna catch that bottom. I see a ton of people out there saying, oh no, Bitcoin's gonna go to 20k, no, it's gonna go to 10k, and they're waiting. They're just waiting and waiting and waiting. Okay, this is an accumulation phase. I'm not saying you should all in now. I'm not saying that this is the bottom. Some people are saying that the bottom already hit. That previous wick down to 26k at the bottom, that was the bottom. Okay, we've already hit it. Maybe. Okay, maybe. It doesn't matter. This is an accumulation phase. You should be dollar cost averaging in. If you're not, day trading. If you're trading shorter time frames, by all means, you can wait. Okay, so again, take the win, guys. The chart is down 54%. This is an accumulation phase. There's no harm in allocating some of your money now, and you should have been doing it already. This is not financial advice. Do whatever you want. I don't really care, right? But for me personally, this is an accumulation phase, right? I'm keeping a lot of ammunition in the chamber so that we can buy in more if the price goes down. But as far as I'm concerned, this is a discount at its current prices. Okay, now that doesn't mean I'm buying altcoins. Like I've said before, this is not the time for altcoins. And if we pull out the Bitcoin dominance chart, just look at it, right? I was showing this chart to some friends the other day, and I said, look, if this wasn't a coin, and I blocked out all this information, I said, what do you think of this chart? It's bullish. It's breaking out. This is bullish. If this was a coin you were looking at, you'd say, wow, this is amazing. We broke out. We trended sideways, broke out again. Low bit retracement, we broke out again. Real bit retracement, we broke out again. The trend is your friend. And looking at a chart like this, what does the trend say? It's going up. Now, again, this is not a coin. This is not a stock. This is an abstract value called the Bitcoin dominance. So we have to keep that in mind. But the chart doesn't lie, right? We're seeing consistently climbing Bitcoin dominance. Now, that doesn't mean all coins won't go up compared to their USD pairings, but they're not going to perform as well, and they are more dangerous in this current environment than Bitcoin is. And that is the thing right now. In the market like this, you want to capture gains, but also not be too exposed to extremely risky positions because of the fact that Bitcoin could flip on its head at any moment and dive back down. And if you're sitting in big altcoin positions, you are going to get wrecked. Okay, and that is the reality. This is risk off. This is not risk on. You want to capture the gains, but do it in a conservative manner. Do it in a safe manner. If you want crypto exposure, Bitcoin is the play right now. I wouldn't even touch ETH personally. Okay, so that's just my 2 cents on the market now. And like I said, guys, the number one mistake you can make is thinking that you're going to time that specific bottom, right? And as you can see, Bitcoin is showing some strength now. And as we talked before, in terms of where the current price could be heading, Bitcoin could be heading, up to test these levels at 35K, even higher, 37K, and then upwards to a 40K range. It is possible for us to break out here. That doesn't mean the bearish time frame is over, because like we always do, if you don't know what's going on, zoom out when you are in doubt, right? And if you zoom out, you still see overall this is still bearish, right? You can't call this little uptick here, a sign of a bull market, right? The market has to really prove to us that it's switching back to a bullish phase before we'll believe it. Right now, Bitcoin is still bearish. The overall crypto market is bearish, and so we will respect that until we are proven otherwise. Okay. And that brings me to my next point, just a topic I wanted to bring out, an article written by this guy, Arthur Hayes, brilliant guy, Now, again, I'll preface it, he doesn't know everything, nobody knows everything, but he has a good track record, he's been in the space for a while, and essentially, what this guy is saying is, look, more or less, the market is going to do what the market does, okay? And right now, we're talking about, macroeconomics look bearish, inflation is rising, the Fed is trying to taper of inflation, this and that, but the reality is, there's only so much pain that the market can endure. Ultimately, we are heading into a time when elections in the US are going to be a big deal, and a large quantity of the population that is hurt by this recent downturn in the markets are the boomers, right? And they're a huge voting bloc, and there's only so much pain that overall the market can sustain. Right now, we don't know how far the Fed is going to go, right? But the reality is, the markets can't just nuke forever, right? There has to be some sort of relief in the markets. And essentially, what he's saying here, and this is a great article, you should read it. It's Arthur Hayes. If you search him up, you can find him. Is look, more or less, everybody is bearish right now. They think this is the end of the world, and that's why we have people calling for targets of down to, Bitcoin's just going to be dead, or it's going to be going down to 5K, maybe 10K, 12K. Look, when the market is bearish, everyone gets bearish, right? If you told me back in November people were going to be talking about 12K Bitcoin, you'd say that they're insane, but now it just seems normal, right? That is how fast these things can turn, and that's a sign, again, to you that nobody actually knows what they're talking about. There are smart people out there, right? And if you search during the bearish or bullish times, they often have the most contrarian viewpoints as to what's going to happen. But regardless, when the market is bullish, pretty much everyone's bullish. And as we've seen, even the big traders and hedge funds and VCs, even they don't know what they're doing. Even they can't call the top, right? Or call the bottom. So the reality is, the bottom may not be as bad as we think, right? This is an accumulation phase, okay? And even though Bitcoin has been pummeled down as low as it has been, we do have some people calling that the bottom is somewhere in the 25 to 27,000 zone, right? And we've already hit those zones, so this could very well have been the bottom. Now, that doesn't mean, we can't pump back up and then dump again and hit these levels again and go a bit lower, right? That doesn't mean that, but what it's telling us is that we are in an accumulation phase, so don't discount that. Don't be holding everything back, waiting for that absolute bottom, because you're going to miss it, okay? If you're sitting here right now thinking, okay, well, the bottom's 20K. When it goes to 20K, you're going to be telling yourself, well, okay, well, the bottom's 15K, the bottom's 10K, the bottom's 5K, and you're going to miss it, okay? As the market is giving you a gift, which is discounted Bitcoin, okay? Take the gift, okay? Start accumulating, all right? You don't have to, all in now and bet everything you have and spend all your life savings. No, right? But start accumulating, okay? Don't make the mistake that a lot of people are, which is, holding everything back and thinking, they're going to catch the bottom, because they're not going to be able to, That's the reality. They won't be able to. When the time comes, they're going to get fudded out and they're not going to buy in. Okay? But ultimately, the macroeconomic picture right now, overall, is still bullish long term for crypto, specifically Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay? The two coins that have really proven themselves. Okay? Everything else is just an altcoin and is a trade. But Bitcoin and Ethereum have proven themselves long term. For Bitcoin at least, now is an accumulation zone. So don't waste it, guys, because one day, as we all know, Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million. Right? Not financial advice. You do what you got to do. That's just my 2 cents. So remember, guys, accumulation phase right now. Start dollar cost averaging in. That's the smartest strategy, especially if you're not a trader. Okay? That's it. Don't mess up the bear market. All right. Catch you later, guys. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and hit that subscribe button below. It really helps me out. Really pushes the channel to other people. Okay? Hit that like button as well. Thanks.